When people win the jackpot, it affects them in different ways. Some win and lose everything due to numerous poor choices. Some win and take certain measures they believe are the best for them. In this video, we'll look at lottery winners who refuse to give to their families or who abandoned their spouses after winning. Number 10. The $5 million couple. A married couple took to Reddit to narrate how they won $5.6 million on a lottery ticket and refused to share it with their family. The couple, who said they bought lottery tickets every month just for fun, were shocked when they hit the jackpot. They paid all their debts, which included home, mortgage, student, and car loans, and were left with $5 million. In case you don't know, 70% of lottery winners go broke after a few years. Me being in the financial sector, I didn't want to be in the 70% and also never have to work a real job again, he wrote in a Reddit thread. So what did this young couple, both aged 24, do? They decided to invest $3 million in a combination of mutual funds, real estate investment trust, and stocks to safeguard their future for a very steady, hands-off, extremely low-risk, solid return approach. Brilliant couple, aren't they? According to him, with the $2 million, we ended up buying a $5 million apartment complex that has cash flow and will give a high return with low risk. He then decided to let his family know about his new fortune, and he believed they would be happy for him and congratulate him on having good sense over the management. However, their reaction left him shocked. The first thing they told him was about a family trip he would have to sponsor. Then they told him he would need to pay off all of their debts and other things they listed. He told them, $5 million is a lot, but not enough where I would be giving it away to family. They were pissed off and told him he was no longer welcome to the family and should never talk to them again. Oh man, talk about entitlement. Number 9. Arnim Ramdas. Arnim Ramdas was an airplane mechanic when in 2007 he won a $19 million jackpot with 17 of his coworkers. They agreed to take the whole lump sum payout of $10.2 million. Before taxes, each person got around $600,000. One would think Arnim would be delighted to break this good news to his wife, an ex-beauty queen, Donna Campbell. But he had a different plan. He came home with a friend and started disconnecting their phones and television. His wife of 5 years and girlfriend of 5 years before marriage, Donna, got suspicious when she noticed these awkward actions. Why was he putting off their phones and television? What was going on? Then, a postcard in the mail congratulating Arnim on a new house he purchased was the ultimate revelation. Donna was astounded. She went on the internet to search for any clue to the house her husband had bought and how he possibly made the money. On keying in his name on the internet, news about 17 airline workers in Miami who won a Florida lottery popped up. That was how she discovered his secret. According to Donna, she asked him if he had any news he wanted to share with her, to which he said, "No. What are you talking about?" "The lottery," she replied. Arnim told her he'd bought the ticket for his daughter from another marriage. Donna couldn't believe this. It was obvious her husband had no intention of letting her have any of his winnings. After the confrontations, Donna would receive yet another shock. Her husband disappeared with no trace, leaving her high and dry, leaving her on the verge of becoming homeless because their Miramar, Florida home was about to be foreclosed on. Donna hired a pro bono lawyer to serve him papers in order to claim some of the lottery money, but the man was nowhere to be found. After Arnim disappeared, his wife, who apparently wasn't working, had no money. She would have been evicted shortly afterwards, but the landlord had mercy on her and allowed her to stay 2 more years before finally evicting her. Even then, her husband was still not available to receive the serving papers. Even an American Airlines official couldn't say anything about him, citing workers' privacy. What do you think could have made Arnim Ramdas not to tell his wife about his winnings, and on top of that, split from her without a hint? Tell us in the comments and keep watching. Number 8. Denise Rossi. What could make a happily married woman divorce her husband after winning the jackpot? Was she truly happy with the man? That's the story of Denise Rossi, who won a $1.3 million lottery in 1996 and kept silent over it. 11 days after, she filed for divorce to her husband's surprise. Bewildered, her husband of 25 years, Thomas, asked her what could be the reason, but she couldn't make anything as the reason for the divorce. He granted her the divorce and went his separate way. 2 years later, Thomas received a letter in the mail which was addressed to his wife. The letter made mention of her $1.3 million lottery win. Astounded, Thomas checked the date of the winnings and realized it was just 11 days before his wife filed for divorce. Not letting it slide, Thomas hired a lawyer and filed a lawsuit against his ex-wife for a violation of state assets disclosure law. The court found Denise guilty of failing to disclose her assets. She said she didn't know it was compulsory for her to let someone know about her winnings. That was why she didn't mention it during the divorce proceedings. She claimed she had always wanted to leave the relationship. The judge didn't accept her excuses. He ordered her to pay her ex-husband 20 annual installments of $66,800. It was virtually all of her winnings. Her lawyer, Connolly Euler, wasn't happy about her hiding the truth. According to him, Denise would have been able to keep her winnings if she had mentioned it during the divorce proceedings. He would have argued her case better and convinced the judge that the lottery money was her personal property. She wanted to alienate her husband from her winnings, but ended up losing everything. Maybe people should think twice before cutting someone off after winning a lottery. Number 7. Etta Mae Urquhart. Etta Mae Urquhart made this list not because she wanted to cut off a family member, rather a family member tricked and cut her off with her own winnings. How did it happen? Well, in May 2011, 76-year-old Etta performed her routine of purchasing lottery tickets at her local gas station in Bakersfield, north of Los Angeles. According to her, she buys lottery tickets regularly, every Tuesday and Friday with her pension money. Her son, Ronnie Orinder, always told her to stop wasting money on lottery tickets. For 18 years, she hadn't won, but that was about to change. After purchasing a ticket for the $51 million Mega Millions drawing, she checked the newspaper the next day to see the results. There it was. She had won. To be more convinced, she told her son Ronnie to compare her Mega Millions ticket to the numbers in the newspaper. Ronnie checked and confirmed it was a winner. Then Etta, her husband, and Ronnie drove to the gas station where Etta had bought the ticket to claim her winnings. The lottery officials were already there when they arrived, and they requested for the winning ticket to be signed. Etta was so overwhelmed with joy and excitement that she couldn't hold a pen. The authorities told her it didn't matter who signed it, she was still the winner. Etta authorized her son to sign on her behalf. However, Ronnie signed the winning ticket in his own name and not on behalf of Etta Mae. They struggled through the maze of journalists and photographers to get back to their car. To put off relatives, friends, and even strangers who would come with demands, Ronnie told his mother to tell people she had bought the ticket for her son, Ronnie. So this was the story Etta told people initially. On the 5th of May 2011, lottery officials presented Ronnie as the Mega Millions winner of $51 million. The lump sum payout amounted to $32,300,000. From then on, Ronnie directed the entirety of the money to his own accounts, where his mother couldn't access it. When Etta saw her son had colonized much of her money, she filed a lawsuit against him on the 23rd of April 2012, so she would recover her money. According to her, Ronnie deposited or invested much of the money through MoneyWise, SEI Investment Management, and SEIC, from which he received monthly income. She also said he deposited a huge amount of cash with Bancorp Bank. Etta sued all those financial institutions too. She revealed in the suit that Ronnie bought 4 houses in Bakersfield and at least 10 cars, and has and continues to make cash gifts of several hundreds of dollars. In a press conference, Ronnie claimed that he had given his mother money for some years to buy lottery tickets. He also claimed he took the lump sum payout in order to take care of his parents. When she confronted Ronnie about the accounts she couldn't access, he didn't budge. The suit demanded compensatory damages of at least $32.3 million, plus punitive damages. Etta stated in the declaration, "Of the total lottery winnings received, I've received approximately $125,000 in cash, a Lincoln SUV, and I've been provided a house to live in, but I am not the owner of the house." Ronnie's stepfather, Bob Urquhart, was the co-plaintiff in the lawsuit together with his wife. However, a confidential settlement was eventually reached between the two parties, as reported by Bakersfield.com. Do you believe in the advice, "Don't tell anyone if you win a lottery"? Tell us in the comments as we continue. Number 6. Mr. Lee. When a Chinese man won a $30 million jackpot, he simply didn't tell his wife and child. His reason? "I don't want them to get lazy." Wow, okay. On October 24, 2022, a man in Nanjing, Guangxi, who identified himself simply as Mr. Lee, went to receive his lottery winnings, a whopping 219 million yuan, which was about $29.9 million. And he did so dressed in a yellow costume as a mascot. And before you think that's weird, it's actually not uncommon to see lottery winners in China coming forward under a disguise in order to not be recognized by the public. However, in Mr. Lee's case, he didn't want to hide the lottery money from the public alone, but from his family too. "I didn't tell my wife and child for fear that they would be too complacent and would not work or work hard in the future," he told Nanning News. After realizing that he had won on October 21st, Mr. Lee traveled by train from Litang, a town east of the regional capital Nanning, to collect his prize money, which came down to a stunning 171.6 million yuan, about $23,641,246.20 after taxes. According to him, he couldn't sleep the night he found out that he won. And he didn't leave his hotel the whole weekend for fear of losing his ticket before he claimed his winnings on Monday. He has since given some money to charity and is undecided on what to do with the rest. His family still doesn't know. Number 5. Mr. John. A mom and a dad won a lucky draw of 22 mil, and they told no one, including their teenage children. "My wife and I made a conscious decision just to kind of keep it under wraps," explained John, a man in his late 40s. "We haven't even told our 2 teenage children." John made this confession during a call-in confessional on the Dave Ramsey Show podcast. The footage of his admission became an instant trend, garnering 1 million Instagram views. John went on to explain that even his own parents, not his wife's parents, knew about their millionaire status. However, he said the secret won't be forever, that at some point they will tell their children, at least. Number 4. Les and Samantha Scatting. It's quite popular to hear about the lottery curse. Well, is it true or false? Les and Samantha Scatting won £45.5 million in 2009. Prior to this time, they were the epitome of a happy elderly couple. Mr. Scatting from Caerleon Newport was the biggest lottery winner at that time, getting half of the £91 million Euro Millions jackpot, and that was a huge dream come true. Mr. Scatting, whose daughter asked whether he had won the lottery for 12 years, believed the win will bring them more happiness. "We haven't slept since we woke up on Saturday morning. Not that we're complaining," said Samantha, who had been the breadwinner of the family since Les lost his job the previous year. "Now you can take care of me," she also told Les. There was no doubt they were happy, but the couple, who had been together since 2002 and got married in 2006, split in 2013. It was said the two of them had different attitudes towards money. One source said the money changed Samantha, that she was obsessed with diamonds. Well, what can we say? Can you use this opportunity to hit the like button and subscribe? Number 3. Colin and Christine Weir. Back in 2011, Colin and Christine Weir were winners of the then highest ever Euro Millions jackpot of £161.6 million. In fact, their winnings were so huge, they ranked as the 22nd richest people in Scotland. But sadly, they began to drift apart after their mega winnings. At the time of their winning, they were already married for 38 years. They made a lot of philanthropic gestures, creating the Weir Charitable Trust. They also bought an £850,000 knock house, a 4-bedroom detached home located on 23 acres of gardens and woodland off Large in Scotland. It was in 2019 that they announced they were divorcing on good terms after living separately for a year. What could have gone wrong in this 38-year-old marriage after a mega lottery was won? 3 months after the divorce, Colin died of kidney failure and sepsis. He was 72. Colin was said to have spent about £40 million of his £80 million win in 8 years, splashing out on cars, property, and satisfying a dream of owning his favorite football team. Patrick Thistle Football Club by buying a controlling share in the team. The £40 million he spent also included the donations to charitable institutions and the money he gave out to family and friends. He also made some property investments. At the time of his passing on December 27, 2019, he resided in a £1.1 million, 5-bedroom seafront home located in Ayr, which he had bought shortly after splitting from his wife. He left his £3.5 million mansion, Frognall House near Troon, for his wife, Mrs. Weir, with whom he had 2 adult children, Carly and Jamie. They had bought the house shortly after they had won the lottery. At his death, he owned furniture, artworks valued at about £212,000, jewelry, as well as 4 cars of modest value. He was so thoughtful that he left emergency funds in a small cash box in his property, which contained £263.9. Number 2. Gareth and Catherine Bull. In 2012, Gareth and Catherine Bull won a staggering £41 million Euro Millions jackpot, and their lives were forever changed. But just 5 years after, their relationship hit the rocks, and in 2017, Gareth moved out of the home he shared with Catherine and their 2 sons. Before the divorce, he equally spent time in his £1.5 million holiday home in Tenerife, trying to live life to the fullest according to his understanding. It was in Tenerife that he met Donna Desporte, a mom of 4 with whom he had a 9-month fling while still married to Catherine. According to Donna, she was carried away by Gareth when he showed up at the bar and told her to Google me. But Gareth later ended his relationship with her and didn't even answer her calls or return her messages. Why do some men get out of hands when they get a hold of millions? Let us know your opinions in the comments. Number 1. Adrian and Gillian Bayford. The tale of Adrian and Gillian is a sad one. They'd been married for 8 years when they won a terrific £148 million on the Euro Millions in 2012. But just 15 months after, the marriage began to crack. They attributed it to the stress that came with winning the lottery. Each time they made headlines again, it wasn't for a good reason. Adrian began a romance with his ex-horse groom, Samantha Burbridge, who was 16 years younger than him. But after 3 years of their relationship, she made away with 30 horses, a horse box, and a car he had bought for her, and ran back to her ex-boyfriend. Adrian moved on to a new partner, Lisa Kent, who later dumped him in 2018 after she found racy emails he had sent to one of his exes. Gillian had also moved on to other men. She was later convicted of attacking her ex-lover, Gavin Innes, during their relationship, which ended in 2017. Then, in 2018, she tied the knot with fraudster Brian Deans, who was known for stealing more than £13,500 from Tesco in a fraud which involved putting through fake customer refunds. "I've known from the very beginning, and it doesn't bother me," Gillian said after the wedding. "Everyone has a past, but you can't live in the past. You've got to move on." That's solid advice from her. You've got to move on. It's quite sad and unfortunate that several couples hit divorce after winning the jackpot. Which of these stories saddened you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you had a wonderful time. Thanks for watching.